There's a debate going on in this country concerning austerity versus short-term growth stimulus. The Republicans are arguing for austerity. The New York Times editorials are arguing for stimulus short-term. Would you comment on that, please?
Well, everybody knows I'm very unsound on this. I have no doubt that as I said, I don't think the fiscal deficit can be closed here, so it's a waste of time trying, except through a depression. So the answer to this, in my view, is very simple. You can start cutting the fiscal deficit rapidly, surprisingly rapidly, in fact, when the economy returns to growth. That will happen, in my view, when the deleveraging process is largely done. And we're not there yet. The US is closer to it, but we're not there yet. I suspect it will be a few more years. In the meantime, the government has to provide, since the private sector is deleveraging, the government sector has to leverage. One way or the other, that's what's going to happen. There are alternative ways of doing it, which will be the implication of a serious austerity program, which is you essentially push through a mass bankruptcy process in the private sector. That will give you a depression in the short run, but no doubt there's life after that. But I have no doubt that if you want a continued recovery, the fiscal support will be needed. But I understand that an experiment of this kind might well be started later this year, because there is in the works a massive automatic fiscal tightening, which according to what I've read could be about 4% of GDP. If that is the case, and if it happens, we'll have one of the neatest pure experiments in economic policy we can imagine. I expect it to cause a big recession. Now, none of this rules out the obvious fact that the very long-term public finances position of the United States do not look sustainable on current trends, and therefore there have to be large changes. I'm going to make myself even more unpopular than I already made myself by saying that nobody, in my view, can look at the arithmetic of the US and reach the conclusion that this can happen without, one, a complete transformation of the trajectory for healthcare spending, and two, higher taxes. This is an astonishingly undertaxed country. Now I've really made myself unpopular.
Applause.
I could go on to that later. But anyway, short run fiscal support, long run massive reductions in structural deficits are clearly needed.